process of digging out of that mental slavery and educating ourselves, not relying on Caucasians to tell us who we are and what our values and is, but defining it for ourselves and digging into our history and embracing the authentic, amazing, rich, powerful history that we have as a people. So that's my mission, is to educate myself, to educate people around me in the African diaspora about African culture, African heritage, African history, African culture and customs, as well as bringing Black people together. My dream is for all Black people to return to Africa and to establish a home in Africa. Whether you want to live in Jersey, you want to live in Florida, which is all good. Anyone, people can have other homes outside of Africa, but every Black person deserves to have a home, a place they call home in Africa, and a place that they can go to whenever their spirits desire, whenever they, their mood changes, that want to go back to Africa and be there for a year, that they have option, they have access to that.
Beautiful, beautiful. So I heard you said that you have young children in the public school system. Yeah. How has that affected them?
You were muted the last portion. I heard, how has that affected them?
How has it affected your children? You said that you have two boys in the public school system.
Yeah.
How do you feel that it has affected them?
That's a great question, because I struggled initially to put my studies in the public school system, especially in TC. There's a lot of challenges that we have in the District of Columbia as far as quality education is concerned. So there are very limited avenues, there are actually limited schools that we have access to. And so the wait lists are pretty long for the schools that actually provide quality education. So it was a struggle getting my kids in a good school. We found a charter school that we felt was a good fit for both of my kids. Both of my kids have certain challenges as well as that we looked at were not reflective of our race. We didn't see a lot of people who look like us there. So we wanted a balance. We wanted them to have access to people who look like them. We wanted them to have access to the real world, but also be protected, also be in a safe institution that provided a quality level of education. So I think we found that with the charter school, which is a mix between public school and private.
So do you think that when they become adults, they'll go back to Africa and stay, or share, or you think that they'll be?
That's the goal. That's the goal, is for them to go back. My husband, I married also a Nigerian. I met my husband in DC as well. I met my husband. Now it's like 17 years. We've been together 17 years, married for 13 years. So his goal, his dream, is to move back to Nigeria. In fact, he brought that up just like a week or 2 weeks ago, that he really wants to move back sooner rather than later, maybe in the next couple years or so. So, we definitely want our kids to move back to Nigeria. We want our kids to call Africa, call Nigeria their home, or wherever they want to live in Africa. But I think it's important for Black people to actually have an existence in Africa, because it does something to the psychology. It does something to your self-worth, your feelings of self-worth, and also your identity. So definitely, I would love for my boys to return to Nigeria and live there. Even if it's to spend 20 years, 30 years there, or just the last portion of their time there, retire, for sure. I mean, if things were right now, Nigerians are very strong people. So there are people who don't put up with a lot of nonsense. So when the government has, serves up some, when the government is a little, is a little shady with the things that they do, the people will let the government know. So there are people who are warriors and stand up for themselves, stand up for human rights, stand up for civil rights. So right now is a time where Nigerians are in the process of making a change, making a very important change in the structure of our system, and they are trying to create new opportunities for the youth, because right now, of course, the world is going through a global recession. We are in the middle of a pandemic. The United States not even being, not even being a first world power. We're actually going through the brunt of the pandemic with the highest number of cases in the world.
The pandemic.
I know the pandemic, right? Because we know what happened. We know where that came from in the lab. But yeah, I mean, the whole world is going through this recession, and every country is coming up with a plan to climb out of that recession. Nigeria not being, outside of that. So they're in the process of finding other avenues to recover from the pandemic and also make a way for the youths to be able to make money, have jobs, and thrive in this new world that we have.
Still have people that are still waiting. I heard somebody the other week said, "Will things get back to normal?" Now, this is normal. There's no going back.
Absolutely. Yeah, this is the new normal. This is the new normal. I don't think anything is going to go back to normal. I think we're going to grow from this, and we're going to create new avenues of business, new avenues of attending school, new avenues of making money and setting up our businesses. A lot of things are, of course, are online. And if you're not online, that's not going to thrive. That's going to go under. And so people are going to latch onto technology. I mean, I think that's going to be the wave of the future is technology. And, it's either you get with the program or, you're not going to be successful.
Say that because you're going to have to get with the team. Hello. And that's for the older generations. That is going to be a hard space. They have been, doing, and I was just like, and I asked, I was getting all of my medication, and I was actually getting it shipped from a pharmacy space, and they had not shipped it not one time this year, and every time I've had to come back to them. So I asked them, I said, you know what, just get it back to the local store, and I'll just pay for it. I'd rather pay the money and know that I'm going to get what I'm supposed to get. But I did ask the pharmacist, I said, so, what happens to the elderly, people that are not tech savvy and don't realize that they have not, and a lot of them don't have, family with them and things. How do they handle that? They don't know. They don't know how to, you need to go and you need to look in this portal and you need to do. I'm like, how do they handle life? This is another form of cleansing as well. If you lack the knowledge to mute on how it's a form of cleansing, because how do once they're 60 and 70, 80 years old, they handling that in a technological world?
Right, absolutely. I think there's been a gradual rise in people having access to technology, but I think we're nowhere near where we need to be right now. There's a lot of people that just don't have access for whatever, for just the fact that they're older and they never grew up on technology. They're retired, they don't have access to the internet, or they don't know how to get online and do these things that the younger people, have, have had access to or can understand more easily. So it is a challenge. I think it's definitely a challenge and something that needs to be addressed, especially in society, in our society, especially in communities of color, especially in the inner cities. There's definitely a gap in access to technologies. There's actually a gap in access to resources, and that needs to be addressed. I think that conversation is coming up more. I think we're having more of those conversations, but I think we need to do better to be able to provide equal access to everyone, and not just the wealthy communities, but the communities, the lower income communities that really need access to this technology to be able to get ahead.
Long-term goals to move into that space?
Yeah, I think so, because I've had this conversation with my husband about technology. I feel it's a bit crowded because of the competition in that space, but that's something I definitely will consider doing, is providing access to lower income communities. I'm more than happy to do that. It's just having access to the resources. I also struggle as an African American woman living in DC to have access to the same resources that the larger companies have access to, or the big names have access to. It's a very competitive space. And it's a space that I've gone into, and I got edged out, and I just I'm in my lane right now. but if
drive your car in your lane, drive your car in your lane.
I know, I was like, okay, let me just stay in my lane. But yeah, if that's something that I have access to, I'll be more than happy to provide that to my community, because I think there's a gap that needs to be filled.
Yeah. I'm 63, and they send your message to your portal, and I'm like, okay, sometimes I have a hard time getting anything, and I'm just like, they said, did you? I'm like, no, I didn't get it, but I need you to call me and tell me, because just the access of it, it's just, I didn't do anything with computers, even though I had them in my house with my kids. I did not do anything with them until I was like 43, 44 years old. And that was just enough to get me through a class in college to get out of college. So, I definitely I admire people that are techie and can maneuver around and get around these things. I admire that. So stay with us. We're going to I saw Muhammad come on, and we're going to bring him. And feel free to jump in and ask questions and that kind of thing with us. Mohammed, did we lose him?
I think we did.
Yes. Well, anyway, while we're waiting for him to get back on, Frickson, how are you doing today?
Hello. Great to see you all.
Yes, we were talking about you earlier. We were talking about you.
I'm joined some late, not from start of the beginning of the show, but now Amar need to go to the classes, so I now with Makakuvu will be co-host of the show, and try to fix our show to the airwaves online on Zulu Radio, like and print radio. So I stay with you and also monitoring the system. Yeah, but if talking about our situation, so not so good. By the way, holidays was good. The New Year, all holidays, and the Christmas in Lugansk People's Republic was harsh and without tragedy. But yesterday we have another act of the war from the Ukrainian government. The village near Wisma town that called named the Donetsky was under the shots of hard gunnery of the Ukrainian forces, Kiev forces. So our representatives today from the Joint Center for Control and Coordination have recorded the aftermath of the Kiev forces strike at the Donetsk settlement. I will be and now you demonstrate some pictures that our workers from my job, my partners from my media made today. They go to this, if you see these pictures, they today was on this territory where last evening was the shots. So the house was under the fire, and like you see, the windows break. Thanks God, there's no victims. Everybody alive. All people scary, very scary. So people have dinner in the evening. It was about 7 p.m. in the evening. So people just rest from the job or from the home bills and have a family evening, try and rest. But Ukrainian army started the shots, and now you see the coordinated center who fixed these damages, breaks. So 11 windows was in the house with 2 floors breaks, so 11 windows. So people now, it's winter on the street. We have cold weather. It is minus temperature, very cold today. The Russian winter, snow and the winter, and people just today have no, like you see, have no windows in their rooms. So again, we see the acts of war. We must have hopes that in New Year in 2022 will be more peace on our territory, but no peace, and people still have the pain and brain damage and the stress in the soul. So this is really not so good for us. And today, when I back from the job, I even now under my window here, like far on the same village Donetsk, we hear again new shots of hard gunnery. So you see in the hands of this man in was army, where this is in his hands some of the bombs that the Ukrainian army dropped on us, some parts from this, and now you see the yeah, so not so good. We pray for the peace. Again, Kiev, the capital of the Ukrainian government, and their president talk that Russian army trying to bring their army to their territory. But I'm living near this Donetsk. We have no Russian army. We have only Lugansk People's Republic army who try defend us and our territory, because we don't want anymore living in Ukraine, because they don't want to speak with us. They don't recognize our leaders, our politics. They said that they will be speak only with Russian President Vladimir Putin, but we have our own leaders of Lugansk People Republic. We have our own president with whom the Kiev president need to talk and make dialogue about the peace and finish this war. But Kiev don't want to recognize us. They still break their own international laws. human rights. So this what we live in now today.
Yeah. It just really it shows us that slavery still comes in all colors, shapes, and forms from all directions, no matter where you are. Um, I know I had heard about it, and that was why I mentioned it earlier to Makakuvu, because I'm like you're like our family now, so I'm like, okay,
Yes.
we have to be concerned about
I
you.
have good friends even in Ukraine and in USA, in Brazil, everywhere. So the politicians don't want to make dialogue. They want to put the weapons to their hands and don't want to talk. We need dialogue, not show who have more weapons and who have more power. We need to speak with each other.
And see it. I see it is on.
Hello, it's nice to be here. Happy New Year. And, yeah, Merry Christmas. And today we also have a festival. In India, it's called Lodi. And it also has a lot of names. It basically signifies the start of Capricorn, the zodiac sign. Yeah, so starting from tonight, Capricorn is starting. And yeah, that festival. And in Russia, it's also something called Old New Year. It's basically New Year, which was celebrated before a shift in calendars, which happened in Russia a couple of centuries ago. So, yeah.
Happy Old New Year.
Yeah, happy Old New Year.
The Old New Year. That is awesome. That is awesome. But as long as you all are doing okay, we really, you all have become a part of the Van Miller Talk Show. And so, a lot of people like, oh my God, I'm like, you have to keep up with current events, whether you sit and watch the news or not. You still have to understand what is going on around the world. And I tell people that all the time. I don't want to see the news going on because it could be going on right in your own neighborhood. Things could be happening.
Indeed. Like you even know where Frickson lives, it's basically my neighborhood because I'm in Russia, and like quite recently some violent protests happened in Kazakhstan, and it's like near the place where I'm currently in Russia. So yeah, anything can happen even in your neighborhood at any time.
How is your study in Ufa University?
Everybody is still waking up after New Year holidays, because in Russia we have holidays until like 10th of January, official holidays always. So right now everybody is still waking up.
Peaceful, respective greetings to everyone. I am Joy Allen of Karmic Dynasty, and I welcome you all here. Peace to you all. Gratitude. So, for those of you who were joining us for I Found My Voice with Van Miller, again, this is a recurring meeting. It is each Thursday, every Thursday at 12 p.m. Eastern Standard Time. The link is in the description. Just click the link. And Vanessa appreciates you for joining and tuning in to her production. Also involved in the production, and here is his contact information, Amar Mansoor, and he will be the one who, what is it? When you go into the meeting, he's the one who brings you into the meeting. So you will see him there in the meeting. He was in this broadcast as well. And of course, Makakuvu, he is there in the Zoom meeting as well. So again, whether Karmic Dynasty is sharing out this production or not, you can still view it each Thursday, 12 p.m. Eastern Standard Time. Also, I do appreciate everyone for continuing to donate books to the children of the DC area. I will be lecturing this year at the Sankofa Bookstore in Washington, D.C., and that is where I am delivering the donated books. So if you like more information on how to get those books to me, here is the information. If you have my phone number, of course, you can call me. We'll talk, and I will help assist me with assisting the promotion of literacy for the children of the DC area. And I will continue with that effort each year. So I have an upcoming broadcast this Sunday, 8 p.m. Eastern Standard Time, January 16th. Tune in here, Facebook, Joy Allen, YouTube, Karmic Dynasty, and my Twitter account. That's where I'll be. And basically, I'll have an update on my platform. I'm going into a new stage, new level. Some of us say new devil. So here's my logo grayed out because this is where I'm at in life right now. And I would like for you all to be there this Sunday, 8 p.m. Eastern Standard Time. I appreciate you all. And definitely, I have been on, speaking of levels, in level of shutting down my Facebook page, Joy Allen. So next stage is this Sunday. After my broadcast, I will be shutting down my Facebook page. It seems a little bit irrelevant to me. And it definitely, though, if you think it's important, you can share the video out on Facebook so your friends and others can check out what I have to share each time I come on this platform. Again, I appreciate you all being here. Again, I found my voice with Van Miller. If you've not tuned in before, tune in. Also in the description, I have past broadcasts that Vanessa has shared for her production, Van Miller. I found my voice with Van Miller. And yeah, past productions in the description. Oh, and also on YouTube, I create a playlist. So all of the playlists that Vanessa has had, well, all of Vanessa's broadcasts that I have shared are in that playlist. So, and I have them all dated. At times there are gaps because I'm unavailable to have a peaceful, quiet background. I may be in the company of others, so the background cannot be clear and quiet. So that's why I have not shared, and or I may have been on a project of my own and unavailable to have the time, which is also kind of the case today. So that's why the video is cut short today. Again, this is a recurring meeting each Thursday, so you don't have to watch through a Joy Allen platform, Karmic Dynasty. You can go directly to the Zoom meeting and tune in and participate. Even just your presence, your attendance is participation. So you don't have to speak. You don't have to share your video. You can sit just like you see my screen today. Just like that. And you can just sit there the entire meeting and just watch like you do here. And if you are called upon, you can just stay quiet like this. Or in the chat in the Zoom meeting, you can type like, I am here just to watch. I am here only in observance capacity. However you like to phrase it. And or phrase it by just staying muted, your mic. Gratitude. So again, I appreciate you all being here and being here with me to support and promote Vanessa's production. I found my voice with Van Miller. You want to join? Because it's like each time Vanessa has her meeting, it's like maybe 3 hours. So you don't have to tune in at 12 p.m. Eastern Standard Time. If you're running behind and it's like 2 o'clock, go ahead and jump in the Zoom meeting. If it's 1 o'clock, 1:30, 12:42 p.m. Eastern Standard Time, jump in the Zoom meeting. The link is in the description. I appreciate you. Vanessa appreciates you. Amar appreciates you. Makakuvu appreciates you. We appreciate you all. Gratitude for your time. I am Joy Allen. You are on the Karmic Dynasty platform, and I appreciate you. Gratitude.